left to me, you ain't gonna hear it. What happens to do not disturb?
Bruh.
But nobody sponsored this video. Jesus sponsored this video, okay? Okay?
Don't call me Josie. I said the girl them killer, yeah. The girl them killer, yeah. She come from Manila, yeah. She sipping on tequila, yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lanre Ilori. If you've not already done so, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below about what you think about this topic. I know, it's a sad topic, but we need to talk about this more. And I honestly didn't want to do this, but as you guys know, I went deeper in my relationship with God, and He's been laying this on my spirit. Left to me, you ain't gonna hear it. But, you know, obedience is better than sacrifice, okay? I learned the hard way. If He tells you to do something, I asked for signs, and He gave me signs. And so maybe this is gonna help somebody who has gone through this. And somebody told me a lot of women actually go through miscarriages, which is interesting because we don't talk about it often, right? We're always ashamed. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's not your fault. And it's, it's very hard to accept that it's not your fault, but I just want to let you know you're not alone. So last year in November, I had my period, and I was like, okay, because God had already told me that 11/11 I'll be pregnant. But He had already told me like 11/11, so it was either my pregnancy or my job, and since I didn't get the job, so I was like, it's probably pregnancy. But I had my period, so I was like, okay, I guess not. But in December, the last week of December, I had very, 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 this is the most painful cramps I have ever had. Like it was like so painful. Like I couldn't do much. And I was like, oh my God, and I thought my period was coming. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have my period. But prior to this, stuff has already happened where I don't advise anybody to do this. Please learn to serve God for yourself. A prophet can confirm what he tells you, but don't go to a prophet expecting him to tell you what God is telling you and not you asking God for yourself, right? So basically I had gone to a prophet because my mom was like, oh, yes, God told me we're going to have, my mom was like, Auntie, and I was like, okay, whatever. I went to a prophet, and the guy he said, pray, fast, this one, and then we did, and I guess this whole time I was pregnant. I just didn't know it. So, like, he told me some things that were really heavy in my mind, and then there was a day I was driving, and I was going to the gym. I was like, God, this is too heavy for me. Remove the load. And there was this one girl I saw before. We say hi, but she ain't friendly. Her name is Chineye. Love you, girl, but she's not the kind of person that will make new friends. Like, she sticks with her old friends and that's it. But she was like, the Spirit just led her to come talk to me that day. And she started talking to me, and I told her everything from the beginning, all the stuff that's been happening. I don't know why. I was so overwhelmed. And I talked to my friend about it, but I was still overwhelmed. So then I met her. That's how I met Chineye. So this day, now fast forward back to December, I'm having cramps. I'm telling Chineye, this period is here. I'm so tired. I told my OB/GYN that this period is there. My OB/GYN, because when they know you're trying, right? If anything is off, they tell you go get a pregnancy test. And I was complaining like, I'm telling this lady that I'm my period. This one's telling me to go and get a pregnancy test. And I guess Chineye already knew I was pregnant. The Spirit. See, this is about God. If you don't, this is just about God. I'm not going to take any glory in this. So the Spirit told her I'm pregnant, and she was like, be careful what you say, because I get stubborn, okay? When you tell me something, I don't want to listen. And so I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, just go do a pregnancy test. Only for me to do a pregnancy test, and it's pregnant. I'm sorry, what? Why am I having cramps? And so I go to my OB/GYN, and I say, okay, it's pregnant. They do a pregnancy test there. It says pregnant. Then they do a blood draw. And this is where it all went. I don't even want to say it. I was having cramps. My lungs started to work at 80% capacity. So I have really bad allergies, right? Really, really bad allergies. I don't know if it's the city I'm living in, but I just noticed when I moved to this city, and I'm pretty sure it's the water. One of my videos, you're gonna see how dirty the water is. I don't know, but it triggers, I guess, when you're pregnant, or maybe some pregnancy, I don't know, but this pregnancy triggered my allergies, right? So I was waking up at 2 a.m. in pain. I don't know why the pain is 2 a.m. I'll be in so much pain, and I'll be coughing, like dry coughing. Like I coughed so much that I could feel like the blood, going to like the skin of my lungs. Like blood didn't come out, but like it was almost close. Like I was coughing so bad, and then when you're pregnant, this OBGYN will tell you, oh, you can take this Miscarriage, but you can't take this Miscarriage because Miscarriage helps with cough. But you can't take this. You can't take the 2-pill one. You can't take the 3-pill. And I was like, oh my goodness, what can I take? What can I take? Like it was just all over the place. So then my OBGYN was okay. Let's try to do a pelvic scan, like a detailed pelvic scan. Guys, for 6 weeks they could not find the baby or a heartbeat. And I know it's early. 6 weeks I was going in for blood draws every other week, because they do something called HCG, which is that's how they used to measure it's in your blood, and they used to measure like if you're pregnant or not, and if like, I don't know, they just use HCG. So to make sure that I was pregnant. So she's like, okay, they looked at it like it's not ectopic, which is good, but we just can't find the baby. So for 6 weeks, I was going back and forth. Like, I was miserable. I was always in pain. I was coughing at night. I wasn't sleeping well. And like, pregnancy is no joke. Pregnancy is no joke. So at 6 weeks, I went in. They found a baby and a heartbeat. And unfortunately, I think that was the last time the baby was alive. I'm not sure. They think it died at 8 weeks. But that was my first scan. So I was relieved. I was like, thank God. But during that pregnancy, I'm not gonna lie, the devil was attacking my mind. Oh my goodness, the devil was attacking my mind. I would just be thinking about people stabbing me, people stabbing the baby, like very negative thoughts. And my friend Chineye sent me this thing with Apostle Pastor Femi Lazarus, was talking about, if you have negative thought, don't just remove it, say it with scripture. So if like, for example, if I was having a thought about, there's something stabbed me, I'll say, no weapon fashioned against me shall prosper, and I'll say it out loud. I'll say 10,000 will fall outside, it will not come near you. You will only realize that your comments are wicked. That's Psalm 91, and the other one is Isaiah. So yeah, I just kept saying it because like I was having mental warfare. It was really bad. So after that, they saw the baby, and during this time, I was studying for an exam. So now imagine me pregnant. When you're pregnant, your brain is already, ooh. I'm pregnant, I'm studying for an exam, and I'm working. So then the day of the exam was a Friday, and on Thursday I had my 9-week scan, So I go on Thursday for my 9-week scan. My OBGYN is probing, 28, because I was already having some bleeding. And I was praying, I was just saying, I cover this baby with the blood of Jesus, no weapon fashioned against this baby shall prosper. Basically, like 10,000 fall out our sides. Basically, the verses. And she was looking. She said, I'm sorry, I cannot find a heartbeat. I said, you said what? She said, let me go get a colleague. One thing I will advise, when you're praying to have children, don't just pray to have children, pray for your medical team. Pray, God, give me the right doctors, give me the right OBGYN, give me the right, on the right team on the day of delivery, the right nurse practitioner, the right nurses on the day of delivery, the right anesthesiologists on the day of delivery. Pray for your whole medical team. Give me the right people on the day of my delivery, and let everything go well. Don't just pray for kids. Also add it to your prayer. In this life, I'm not gonna lie, this whole time I've learned that every single thing is prayer. You can never stop praying. Pray. Even Jesus said, pray fervently. Like pray. I will pray. So she goes to call her medical personnel, like another OBGYN. So my OBGYN is a nurse practitioner. I don't care. I love her, so I call her my OBGYN. So she calls another OBGYN on duty, and she was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't find the baby. At this point, the pain had intensified. So now imagine bad cramps. I already have really, and also I have fibroids. I didn't think it was a big deal at that time. I just knew it was the cause of my painful period, and I thought like a lot of women like had an issue with fibroids. So I used to have painful period because of the fibroids, but I never thought to take it out. So and I just, it wasn't in the womb at that time before my pregnancy. So my OBGYN, or they didn't think it was like, a big deal to take it out, because I was trying. They didn't want to do any medical process just in case I was pregnant. So yeah. So when she now took it out, she was like, oh yeah, and I was, so she was like, yes, you're already passing it out, and that's why you're also feeling the pain more intensified, guys. And the next day was my exam. I said no, for I know that Jeremiah 29:11. I was like a crazy person. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, to give you a future and a hope. I kept saying, I said, God, unfortunately I lost this baby, but this exam, I must pass. This exam, I didn't cancel the exam. Yes, I learned on Thursday that I lost my baby. On Friday, I said no. I kept saying that. And I did this on one prayer called NLP, Next Level Prayers. And they said that verse, Jeremiah 29:11. And I said, this is God, this is a confirmation I'm going to pass this exam. So they gave me something called hydrocodone. Some medication that is strong. Now, this, I don't know why people are addicted to this medication, because this thing only works for 3 hours. Okay, I took it at 9. At 12 a.m. I was up in pain. Well, I was still even with the hydrocodone, I was still feeling the pain, but it wasn't as intensifying with it. So I was like, okay. Then I don't think I really had a good night's sleep. I woke up, did a little bit of studying, did a little bit of walking, and just kept saying the verse. And because I was an online test, so I set up my camera, showed them my surrounding and all that, and then I took the hydrocodone. I didn't know hydrocodone side effects makes you dizzy, because I took it at night the last time. I didn't know it can make you dizzy. So I took the hydrocodone and I said, God, let this thing just work for 3 hours. Let me not just feel, because the test was a 3 hour. I was like, let me not just feel pain for this 3 hours. I took the hydrocodone. I started doing my exam. So it's 150 questions, 75. So by the time I got to 475, I thought I was like putting the questions, like I was flagging the questions. I was just pressing the highlight button. I wasn't flagging no questions. And I was like, huh? And after you finish, when I realized at the end, I was like, I had not flagged any questions. I said, oh, God, it's above me now, because it's really above me now. Turn it in. When I got to the second half, I was so drowsy. I guess the hydrocodone, I was so drowsy. So I think this was God. I thought it was the devil, but it was God. My computer, the system that was doing the exam on kind of kicked me out. And I had to like keep logging in 2 to 3 times before it finally worked again. Well, that woke me up. And this time I started flagging it correctly. And in the end, I was like, God, just let me know what answers, like, give me the spirit of wisdom. Let me know what answers to change and what not to change when I finish flagging it. Turning the questions, it says, I did a congratulations, something. I started screaming. I texted the lady. I was like, what is this? Because you can text the people who, they're watching you because your webcam's on. And she was like, oh, you passed, congratulations. I screamed. My husband ran down. What's going on? Are you okay? I said, yeah. I said, I passed the exam. I started rolling on the floor. And they was like, oh, it's still recording. I was like, oh, wait. And so it's like, he was just saying, do you want to do a survey and stuff like that? I finished the exam. I didn't do a survey. I just exited out. And I said, okay, let me go eat. Oh, the pain came back ×4. So now I guess it's kind of like your body having a baby. Like you're having the baby, right? But there's no baby. So it's like, because I know that because the time span of when they will come started becoming shorter. It was first 15 minutes, then it became 10 minutes, then it became 5 minutes, then it became out, like the time span of the pain became shorter. I was in so much pain. Oh, I was on the floor. I couldn't even finish my food. I think I was able to finish the food, but I didn't finish fully. I just laid on the floor. And before the procedure, so my doctor had called me like, what do I want to do? And I told her, please do a DNC because I cannot do this pain. If it's passing out by itself, it's not doing a good job. It's really not. It's really painful. So she said, okay, they don't have any schedule until Monday. So, and then later on, she called me and said, oh, we have one, but you have to go get your medication an hour before the procedure. So Anthony takes me to the hospital to go get it. At this point, he has to use a wheelchair to take me to the pharmacy because I can't even stand. I was in so much. You know how they say like when you have babies, you forget the pain? Well, I didn't. Well, because I didn't have the baby, okay? It died. So I didn't forget the pain. You people that are doing without epidural, we're done. Anyways, it was so much painful, and I took the medication and I went to the procedure. I honestly, I don't wish this on anybody. I'm not gonna lie. They give you, I don't know if when I talked to somebody, like I did another procedure to remove the fibroids, and the lady said 3 shots is fine. You can give them same volume in 3 shots. But in this procedure, she put 7 shots of lidocaine. 7 shots of lidocaine in there, down there, okay, down there. The pain was not the insert of the needle. The pain was emptying of the contents. It was such a sharp, uncomfortable pain. I was almost screaming, and she was like, are you sure you don't want to let this pass out? So I had to hold Anthony's hand and keep breathing in and out. And when she finished with the shot, I just put headphones in. I started to speak in tongues, and I started to cry. I was crying so bad. I was crying, and the room was like, they tried to put calming music, and I was like, Anthony, did they hear me speaking? He's like, well, I mean, you weren't yelling, but the room was quiet, so they could hear. And like the medical team, like there's one nurse that was trying to lighten the mood, but Auntie, I just lost my baby. It's nothing to lighten, like nothing to lighten. And then we now left the hospital. They're now doing it in the clinic. So we left the clinic, and then I went home, and oh my, I cried. I'm not even gonna front. I cried. I think the most painful part of this whole process is you never met the baby. You lost somebody you never saw. It's different when you lose somebody you knew, but it's a different kind of pain when you lose somebody you never met. And I didn't even realize how connected you are with the baby, because the baby is obviously attached to you with the umbilical cord. And I didn't think I was going to be so much pain. Like I was so down, and I knew if I didn't turn to God, I don't know what would I have done. Oh, man, on my period. So this heightened emotions. Oh, wow. I had to turn to God. I didn't have a choice. Looking back, during my pregnancy, I realized I had so much anger, so much unforgiveness in me, and that's just not a healthy place to carry a baby. I'm not saying that's why I lost it. I'm just saying that, looking back, like reflecting. And during that time, I turned to God. That day, we had Bible study. I still joined the Bible study. No, the next Tuesday, sorry. That was a Friday. I had my Bible study Tuesdays, Thursdays with my friends. And I joined the Bible study on Tuesday. And because I still kept on, I started reading my Bible daily. I started in the morning when I walk, I listen to worship songs and just speak in tongues. I just said, even if I'm crying, I still do all that. I said, nah, I can't talk. I cannot. I have to go to God. I stopped listening to circular music except on Instagram. Like, how Instagram, all those reels, you have to listen to the music. I used to listen to music, but I haven't gone back to listen. It's not that, I'm staying away from secular music. I wasn't in the place of mind to do that. Maybe now, but I was just, I couldn't handle anything negative. I'm already dealing with the fact that I lost a baby. And now So I literally turned to God. I held, in Nigeria, when we went to fight, they hold your chest, like they hold your, what do you call it? They hold your collar. That's how I do to God. I said, God, you said you know the plans I have from you. You said my womb will have children. You said children are a gift from the Lord. You said that your wife, for the guy, that your table will be filled with children. It will be surrounded with children. You didn't say this one. This is not what you said. I heard him. I held him to his promise, and yeah. So pregnancy is no joke. When I was pregnant, I was hyperventilating. I was always, like when I was angry, I was hyperventilating. Like I would get out, like there was this one of my friends, I used to carry her problems in my head. It doesn't concern me. Like I get so involved in her problems, I had to like stop. When like she does things I don't like, I will start to hyperventilate. Like I remember this one time I was saying so obsessed with Anthony. Anthony was like, calm down, babe. Because I was like, girl, when you're pregnant, your baby, when they mean your baby feels emotional, your baby feels emotional. Because after that, I couldn't even catch my breath for like 2 hours. No, actually, till the next day, I couldn't catch my breath. I was like, you can't be getting angry. Look, we cannot be getting angry when you're pregnant. You just have to be careful. Please marry men who will take care of you. I know the pressure on society right now is, oh, you need to get married. Oh, it's easier said than done. But please, you need a man that will take care of you. I'm looking at my notes. So you need a man that will take care of you because no. Oh no, because you need, I don't know, for the people who do it themselves, big ups to you. Big ups. I'm not gonna lie, I respect single moms, like my mom. It's not a joke. I respect single moms. Please, before you go and open leg for somebody, please have sense. Pray, God, is this the person you have for me? Because you would think that, oh, I don't want to be lonely, let me just settle. But it's your kids that are gonna suffer. When you're pregnant, you're sharing, you need to be patient with yourself because you're literally sharing an organ with your child. You guys are sharing everything 50%. So please be patient with yourself. You're literally carrying a human being. Like, give yourself grace. If you can't do 10 items a day, give yourself grace. Like, I used to be able to walk and it would take me 15 minutes to go a certain place and back. It was taking me 30 minutes. By the time I come to my hill, I'm already breathing like I ran a marathon. For me to realize that, well, you're sharing an organ. So it's going to be like that. So like I said, I mentioned earlier, I had fibroids. And apparently, after the DNC, I told my OBGYN, I want to take them all out if it's possible. So I went to do a scan and they did see that the fibroid had moved to where the baby was. But when I talked to my OBGYN, she said she doesn't think it's really the fibroid, but it would probably have caused problems growing because it's the same space, but that she thinks it's like I don't remember what she said, honestly. Like, she said these things happened. And I love my OBGYN. She was like, I need you to go see a therapist. I saw your husband, so I know he's supportive. But please just know that it's not your fault. Like, every time, she's like, ask me any question. What do you think caused it? I'm like, oh, maybe because I wasn't eating. She's like, nope. I was like, okay, maybe because I was working too hard in the gym. Nope. She's like, these things happen. Like, it's very common. It's not your fault. So please, mothers out there who have just gone through a miscarriage, it is not your fault. Just know that and know peace. It's not your fault. Okay. Also, I mentioned earlier that I think during that time when I reflect back, I did have a lot of anger and unforgiveness, and I think one of the reasons was because I was serving my pride. Basically, when you go back to God and you develop like a personal, like a close relationship with God, He works on your heart. So I'm less angrier. I still get angry, but I'm way less angrier. I give people way more grace, and when you can't serve two gods at once. So when I was angry, I was serving my pride by not forgiving other people. And I know it's much easier said than done, but Jesus literally said, "Forgive 70 times, 70 times." So yeah. So how did I go through it? Now, number one, God. I'm not even gonna try and say, well, I did this, I did. Let's cut it. God. I prayed every time I felt that, like, and it's okay to cry. Please know that. It's okay to cry. There was sometimes I'll go microwave my food. I remember one time I just sat on the floor and I wailed. And they literally came down to come and hold me. Random. I was just wailing. I was just crying. It's okay. Like this, the pain with God, I feel like I don't know if it goes away, but I do know it's much easier than without Him. Like, and after a while, when you know the promises He has for you, you just keep pushing. He will carry you. Like, He will literally carry you. So when you feel down, just pray for God to comfort you. I used to pray like, God, please comfort me. I feel so alone right now. Even though I know I'm married, but sometimes I feel alone because you're the one who carries the children. Yeah, the man can sympathize with you, but you're the one who carries the children, so you know where the shoe hurts, right? So yes, is the father, but because of that attachment, like I said earlier, it hurts like way more. So I sometimes felt alone, and so I'll pray to God and to comfort me. And I started reading at least one chapter a day, and I got this one Bible. I will link it below, and it has footnotes. I started journaling, and I'll journal things that the footnotes say that apply to me. Before I read the Bible, I pray for the spirit of revelation, for God to let me know. Well, I haven't been doing that, but I need to do that. Pray for the spirit of revelation, for God to let you know what He's speaking to you through your words. Most of your answers you are praying for is going to be in the Bible. Find verses that relate to what you're going through. So put them on your wall. So what I do, I'm going to put a picture of what I do. I put my pictures where I always am every day, where I work, so I can see those verses every time I'm like, I just print verses that apply to what I'm going through, like loss. And when you keep saying it, you look at it every day, you memorize it, keep saying it every day. When you think negatively, say out the words of the Bible that applies to it. If you're thinking of dying, you said He will grant me salvation. What did you say? With long life He will satisfy me and grant me His salvation. With long life He did not promise me this, but He said with long life. So like anything negative, find the verse, say it. Don't be thinking it, say it till it enters the spirit. Say it. So and every time you die, you don't have kids, look up, I think this Psalm 123:8. Your wife will be like a fruitful grapevine flourishing within your home. Your children will be like vigorous young olive trees as they sit around your table. That's an NLT. Keep saying that. That God promised me. Children, and also I think 127:1 is children are a gift from the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is a reward from God. I say God promised me the fruit of the womb is a reward from God. God promised the fruit of the womb. This womb will carry children. This womb will raise generations. This womb will bring children, healthy, 200% healthy children. Just keep saying those things. I'm telling you, it's much easier said than done, but it's better than to be thinking negative and do something you might regret. I'm talking from personal, I'm talking from personal. So also change the translation to something that, because like I know some verses, some translation I relate better with. So change the translation to see what, my top is NLT, KJV, the Message, and NIV. So change it to something that where it like relates more to you. And also 1 Samuel 1:27 NIV, I prayed for this child and the Lord has granted me what I had asked for him. Personalize the verses. I prayed for, if you want the child, and if you name the child, right? Let's say you're going to name the child Tokwe. I prayed for Tokwe and the Lord has granted me what I asked of him. Personalized verses. Put worship songs that, and when you need to cry, but sometimes I feel like I need to cry, but cry won't come. So I found the worship songs that just make me cry. So mine was Eshe by Natalia Bassi. Eshe, 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 oh. When I listen to that, I think about where God has brought me and I just start to cry. Cry. You're not a baby. Cry. Please don't, please, and also friends of people who are watching this, don't tell them not to cry. When they say don't cry, no, let them cry. Let them cry. You have to let it out. You have to let it out. And when you cry, make sure you relax your body. This is my therapy tip from my therapist. Make sure you relax your body and don't tense and just breathe in and out. Like just let the pain go through you. You want to feel the pain. You don't want to tense your body. So and also when I was younger, there was a picture in my mom's house. I don't know if it was my mom's house, but there was a picture that was like saying something about God. Why was it in these times I see one footprint in the sand? And God was like, because I carried you through the storm. And just think of that. When you see one footprint in the sand, that's because God is carrying you through these storms. Also, like I said, say these verses. For loss, a good verse to say, Isaiah, my little sister's, that little girl made me cry. She sent me a TikTok that said Isaiah 61:3. Oh, she told me the verse, actually. I don't know how she found it. I never knew this, so she told me it. And provide, this is NIV, and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for his display of his splendor. That is going to be your staple verse during this time. Isaiah 61:3. That's going to be your staple verse during this time. I'm going to put all this stuff in the description box so you know, you can always reference it. That was NIV. Also, Joel 2:25, KJV. And I will restore to you the years the locust hath eaten, and the cankerworms, and the caterpillar, and the palmer worm, my great army which I have sent among you. So those are two staple verses that talk to me. You can find others that relate to you that you think are better. At first, I think my relationship was a transaction with God. Like, I'll ask for something, I'll pray, move on, pray, move on. But after this loss, now I ask before I, even to my nails, like every down to my nails. Like, I was like, God, I want something to do my nails, but I don't like these fake nails because they take too long to, it lasts for 2 weeks and it breaks. And, and I just felt led to, I was watching this one video actually, and the Maoman was talking about how Bayab, which is builder gel in a bottle, which is basically builder gel and then put any color of gel that you want on top of it. And she was saying how it grew her nails. And then when I was reading the Bible one day, I was reading when Solomon was building the Bible, building the temple, and there was a verse that said something about, there was a word that stuck to me that day. It was like overlay. And which is basically the thing about my nails. Like, the nail is literally the biological is literally an overlay. So like, even the smallest thing, he cares so much about the smallest things. He cares so much. Like, who are we that he's so mindful of us? So I depend on him for everything. Every decision I make, I pray, Lord, what is this? If he's not answered me, I wait. And sometimes he doesn't answer, sometimes he answers quickly. So try to have 50 minutes of praise and worship. If it's worship, or dancing. So I keep up with my steps all day, 10,000 steps. So I'll put praise and worship at least for 15 minutes and just dance. No nonsense, not coordinated dance. Like, dance like David dance stupidly for God, like stupidly for God. Like, even if you're crying and dancing, still dance. Like, and I also have a playlist. I have a playlist on YouTube. I'm gonna clean it up and then make it public. The guy's name is Tosin B. Oh, he has like 1 hour praise sessions. I prayed for it too, because I was like, God, I want something I can dance to, and I like Nigerian. I'm Nigerian, so I like Nigerian stuff. So just find make a praise playlist that you can dance to at least for 15 minutes. Also, join a community with young women like you. Like, I have a community with young women. We study the Bible Tuesday, Thursdays, and some of them are my friends. Some of them I met through the group. So yeah, so it keeps you accountable. We don't say anything that's not, or like, we basically don't try to fluff things up. What the Bible says is what we try and keep ourselves accountable for. Please cry when you need to. Please, please, please cry when you need to. It is okay to cry, and like I said, relax and let your body feel the pain. Don't tense up. Journaling. I started journaling. Oh my, this helps so much. Yeah, journaling. I write 3 things down that I'm grateful for that day. It helped. Journal like you're talking to God. I know a lot of all this stuff I'm saying is much easier said than done, but I've been through there. But also, one thing I want to emphasize, and I know I did earlier, please, before you marry, please pray to God for the spirit of discernment. Please be patient. I know it's much easier said than done because social media glorifies relationships, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, right? My mom was a single mom, like I said. For all 4 of us, she drove herself to the hospital. I can't imagine being in that much pain and driving myself to the hospital in labor because my dad was nowhere to be found. And that's the kind of man she married. He was just not present. I don't know how she did it. She would drive herself to the hospital. She would stay there till the day, then she would drive herself back. Why do you have kids with somebody you don't even want the kids? Please, guys, and it's not you guys that suffer. It's the children. And because my dad wasn't there, I was if you look at videos of predators, they go for kids whose dads aren't present in their lives. It's your kids that suffer these things. So please, when you're thinking about oh, I want to marry now because I want to marry now. Please think of your children, because it's the children that suffer. Just marry a man who respects you. When I look at all these things on social media where they say I'm pregnant and I just gave birth and 3 days later my husband is asking me to cook. Are you okay? Why are you marrying such men? And the thing is, these signs come up when you're dating. Pray. If you don't have answer for God, then it's probably a no. It's not that serious. I know I'm saying that because I'm married and stuff like that, but I was once single. You guys, you'll be happy for a moment now, but are you thinking of 10 years when you have kids and you're raising the child alone? You are driving yourself to the hospital because the father is not. I don't know if you guys watched that video of Legion and how she went to do a DNC and the guy showed up like 2 hours. He wasn't even there. Showed up like 2 hours. He wasn't even there. He wasn't even present. Please just be careful of who you marry. You can't be pregnant. Like, she had 4 of us and she drove herself to the hospital, drove herself back. You're supposed to be healing. I know it's easier to pick the guy just because you want a moment, but please think of your children. And because, like I said, the children will suffer. And there's a lot of married people who are single moms. They're married, but they're doing everything. They're doing the cleaning, they're doing the cooking. Their husband is not relevant to anything. He's just there to eat. That's it. Therapy. Yeah, I'm Nigerian and I hate this Nigerian thing. Nigerians don't go to therapy. It is okay to go to therapy. Please. The people that are going to go to therapy, look at their life and see how unhappy they are. Please go to therapy. Especially with this kind of thing. EMDR, I recommend. Like, this is trauma. Having a miscarriage is traumatic. Doing the DNC is traumatic. Going through the pain of giving birth, but your baby's not even coming out, is traumatic. So no matter what method you take, the pill, the DNC, or letting that pass natural, all of them are traumatic. I have been there. This is trauma. If I were you, I would find an EMDR therapy. They specialize in helping specifically with trauma. Pray for the right therapist, because a lot of therapists, they're crazy. They don't have empathy for the people who are, I don't know why you're a therapist if you're not going to have empathy. But anyways, talk to your friends who care. Please, I said who care. Don't go and talk to somebody who is waiting for your downfall. That's where the spirit of discernment comes in. Honestly, I was watching Apostle Someone's sermon, and he said, just pray for spirit of wisdom. Say, wisdom rest on me. There's a song he sings. I don't know if he wrote it, but it's oh, rest on me. Oh, rest on me. Oh, rest on me. The spirit of wisdom rest on me. Just pray for wisdom. Wisdom to discern the friends that you should tell. Wisdom, even when you're pregnant, if for those who are pregnant, wisdom for God to tell you what to eat, what to avoid, what to do, what not to do. Wisdom is profitable in all areas of your life. Just pray for wisdom. Wisdom like Solomon. God, give me wisdom like Solomon. I pray for that every day. Well, I try to, by the way. But yeah. Also, watching things that make you laugh. This is not the time to go be watching drama. This is not the time to watch reality shows. This is not the time to watch somebody abusing their husband. This is not the time to watch it. I Love Lucy. Well, I can't watch I Love Lucy because it's on Paramount and they charge $11. I can't be having 3 different streaming platforms. But anyway, Friends. Big Bang Theory. My number 1 is House of Pain. Ooh, even till date, I still watch House of Pain. If I'm falling down, I go watch House of Pain. I pray for God to give me joy. Then I go watch House of Pain. After I read my Bible and all that, I go watch House of Pain. Funny things. Be mindful of what you watch. Be mindful of what you see. Cater your Instagram. Don't be seeing bad news. It doesn't help mentally. Start liking good news. I started liking people who are pregnant. I started liking people who are carrying children. I started liking babies of pictures in the womb. Like things positive. And be careful of the words you speak. Your words carry power. I know people like to say your words carry power. Be careful. Be saying Bible verses if you want to say anything negative. Go and be saying Bible verses. Instead of saying rubbish. Your words carry power. Also, this is number 1. Please, for everybody else out there, I understand sometimes it comes from a place of good. Please don't ask women when they're having children. I don't care if you're my mom. I don't care if you're my sister. Don't ask people when they're having children because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they're going through. I have had people embarrass me, asking me, are you trying? That is a breach of boundaries. Please, let's stop these comments, okay? And then let's not even just, like, I've had somebody tell me, go focus on having children. Like, you don't say things like that to people. Like, come on now. As a woman, you've had children. Like, please be careful what you say to people. I had to really pray to God to forgive that person that said that. I literally journaled everything this person has done to me, and I cried, and I told God, please help me forgive that person. And I let the person go. I don't carry their matter on my head anymore, because when you're carrying anger in you, you're not carrying it because of, when you forgive, you're not forgiving for the person, you're forgiving for yourself, because you carry it. And I could tell that there was a lot of anger and negative emotions in me when I was pregnant. I just could tell. So please be careful what you say to people. Parents, even your parents, don't ask. Please set your boundaries, okay? You don't have to be rude, but let's say I'm not comfortable answering that question. And if the person keeps breaking boundaries, it's time to let that person go, because it is your mental health. This life is too short. See how baby did not even make it to the world, and the baby is gone. But yeah, I'm taking people, I've been around people. I'm not saying, so when I say block people, don't block people out of a place of, because with God, lead with love. Don't block people out of a place of, oh, this person, no. Block people out of a place of, this person doesn't understand my boundaries, I'm going to take a step back. Like, I'm going to private myself so that this person doesn't keep harming me, because some people just, I don't know. So, and also, I've noticed that society, especially women, why are we so focused on the method of delivery? Oh, I don't want to do C-section. I want to do epidural. I want to carry for 9 months. Push. I want to push, and I don't want to use epidural. Why are we so focused on things like? I think the fact let's focus on, you carried a baby. Baby came out. Baby is okay. Mom is okay. Period. Why do we care about if you did a C-section, if you did epidural, if you pushed? Those things don't matter. Like, I would have loved to do a C-section at least. I would have loved to, even if it was, I don't care for C-section, at least if my baby was alive, at least, okay, baby's alive. Like, which one is, what does it matter how the baby came out? The baby came out, the baby's healthy, thank God. What is all this? Like, I was watching something, and like, it just made me so sad. Like, she was like, oh, I'm so glad I used the epidural. Oh, and she was like, oh, I felt like if I didn't use it, that I wouldn't have been so happy. I'm like, why are you justifying that? It's okay if you want to use epidural. It's okay. Like, don't make a woman, like, no, you don't have to be telling yourself why you're using epidural. You are the one that carrying the child. The way you want it, you have it the way you want it, with the spirit of wisdom. You have it. Like, what? Please, let's stop emphasizing the procedure on which the child came out. It's never that crucial. If people are still emphasizing, please, let's stop being ignorant. There's AI. If you can ask ChatGPT, like, come on, like, please, let's stop emphasizing, because those things are so irrelevant. They're so irrelevant. So I have been talking for a while. I finally got to the end of my notes. Oh my, I thought it was going to take like an hour, but it didn't. So this is the first time I'll be doing this in my video. I will be doing an altar call. So if you watch this video and you want to be closer to God, I just want to tell you about John 3:16. It says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, and whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. God literally sent his son to die for you. Yes, even if you're the only person, he'll still send his son to die for you. So I'm going to, if you want to have a personal relationship with God, I think this is the best decision you ever make, because your soul will be preserved. I'm not condemning anybody, please. I'm not condemning everybody. This is a decision you want to make. You can skip past this video if you're not comfortable, or skip past this section. But I will, for those who want to take God as their Savior, please say this prayer after me. Lord, forgive me for my sins and wash me with your blood. I believe you died on the cross for me and you rose again on the third day so that I may be justified. Right now, I believe that my sins are forgiven and I'm justified by your blood and I'm born again. And I'm saved and I'm a child of God and I'm free from the power of sin to serve the living God. And that's the prayer. If you did that, you're now saved. You might not feel anything. You might not feel anything different. But please find a Bible-believing church. Pray to God for the Spirit to lead you to the right church. Not all churches are, just find the Bible-believing church with what the Spirit leads. And also pray that the Holy Spirit gives you the ability to speak in tongues. If you can, try and speak in tongues for 15 minutes. You can do while walking. I do sometimes when I'm driving to work, like to the BART station. You find time to speak God. If you don't you make time for what you find important. Make time for God. Also, find a community of believers who have some matured believers who have been believers for a while, like a community. Like, you know, I said I was in the Bible study with my friends, some of my friends, and then others I met them there. But find something like a community also that they do Bible study, so you guys can grow. You don't want to just be saved and not, you know, try and find, like, be edified by His word. So find it via online or in person. We do it online. Like I said, try to speak in tongues every day. And yeah, please, at this point, I've told you people to go therapy. See, these therapy people should come and sponsor me, because what? Come and sponsor me. Come and pay me my money. I will be able to do an ad for you, but nobody sponsored this video. Jesus sponsored this video, okay? Okay? Anyways, I know this is probably a sad video. I know a lot of people are going to be calling me. Please don't call me. It's okay. Don't call me, please. If you're my friend and you see this video, just pray for me. Don't call me. Thank you. But, yeah, please just take your relationship with God seriously, because that's all that matters. You know, you came to this world by yourself, and He brought you in this world, and you're going to go by yourself, and it depends on where your soul is going to go. So you want to be saved. So yeah, you probably didn't enjoy this video, but if you've gone through something like this, please put it in the comment section. Please get therapy. Please go to God. Comment in the comment section what your experience is, if you are okay to share. Please, let's talk about this more often. Let's talk about miscarriages. Let's talk about fibroids. Apparently, somebody told me that these things happen way more frequently. I just never hear of them. It is okay. It's not your fault. And know that God loves you. Jesus loves you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
Don't call me John.